This is Mumbai. We're on the next leg of our journey through India, and we arrived just last night via train from Varanasi. Very long journey. I think it was 26 hours in the end, but surprisingly actually ran on time. We took a second-class sleeper berth and it was very, very comfortable. We did have a little moment a couple of hours into the train journey where some people came claiming that they had the same seat, and we thought not again, because this has happened before. And so we started checking the tickets, and it turned out he did have the same seat on a different train. He brought his family onto the train, sat on our seat, and was getting worked up because the train station had sold him a ticket that someone else had, and it turned out he was on the wrong train the whole time. So luckily he jumped off on time before we left. No idea if he made it to his real train. Now, as you can see, Mumbai is a very interesting place. We're currently in an area that is not seemingly frequented by many foreigners. But nonetheless, you look around and you feel the touch of other places of the world. This is a place that has a strong connection with colonialism, both from Portuguese and the British over many hundreds of years, and you see it in the architecture throughout the city. Just walking along the main promenades, it feels very European. In fact, me and Siamara were actually saying when we arrived yesterday, it could almost feel like being in Spain. Now, of course, where we are right now doesn't fit with anything that I am saying, because as I say, we're in the back streets. But as we move over into the main roads, and we're going to work our way down to Chhatrapati Terminal, which is the main train station, because we got another hotel there, you'll see that colonial architecture really starting to show itself. This is my second time here in Mumbai, and yeah, it's got a very special feeling. This is a very densely populated city. There's 22 million people in this city. One of the most densely, one of the most densely populated cities in the world. But unlike other cities in India, so far at least, it feels more calm. You don't hear the constant horns and beeping. The roads and the infrastructure seems to be a little bit more organized. And yeah, you see that there's a calmness to it. Go down this way. There's bamboo for construction, building ladders, maybe for scaffolding. This is a diverse area. Walking around, you'll see, as with everywhere in India, a whole bunch of different communities, different faiths, all living together. Certainly in this area, it feels predominantly Muslim. But again, I'm not saying that that is the only religion represented here. How are you finding it so far?
Yesterday when we arrived, it felt completely different because I don't know. It feels a little bit more modernized
Yeah.
than the other places that we have been in. So I am enjoying it so far. Yesterday we haven't done much because basically we arrived, we took a taxi. We have a very fun experience with the taxi.
I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Basically, we walked until we found our hotel because it was very difficult to find a hotel. The prices around here are more expensive. But yeah, like I am excited today because today is when we are going to go out and explore and see all the beauty of this place.
Yeah, on that note about the hotel, certainly the prices here are significantly different to the rest of India. This is a very desirable place, both for people to live and people to travel, and it's represented certainly in the costs. So we had to do a lot of digging on Agoda yesterday, and eventually we found a place. All right, take it back what I said about the honking. We need to go straight, don't we? Hello. Yep. So yeah, we had to do a lot of digging on Agoda, and eventually we found somewhere that was, I think, £17, and what that is in dollars, maybe $21, something like that, for one night, which is around about double what you'd expect to pay anywhere else. We kind of did a bit of strolling, figuring that we would do some door knocking. We would find a hotel that had a room available that would perhaps reduce their cost compared to what it is online. And most of the places we were finding, it was, you know, £58, £40 for just kind of standard hotels. So yeah, it's a little bit more difficult with the accommodation. But we found it eventually, and this is why you can see we're doing this big walk, because we had to base ourselves out of the main area. Tonight though, we have a hotel over in the main area in Colaba. We're going to stay there for one night with the aim of trying to leave tomorrow. Again, there's much to see here, but we want to escape city life now and get down to the beaches. You know, we've not just had the time in India, we've had the time in Nepal. So we're quite desperate for something a little bit more tropical. On that note, Mumbai has been fantastic for the heat. The weather here is very hot, very warm. So it's a really pleasant surprise, really nice feeling after being in the north of India where it's been much chillier. You know, even in the day when Varanasi kind of got a little bit warm in the day, it got very cold in the night, didn't it? So
yeah, it was very chilly, but in here, like immediately when we left the train, it was like boom.
Yeah, it's like stepping off the airplane, wasn't it?
It was really good. Like, last night, for first time in our travels, we had to sleep with the fan, so it was really great. It was very, very good.
See, Mara woke up this morning with a wet mustache, all the sweat around her mouth. Now, onto the topic of this taxi that we took yesterday. Well, this is an interesting one, and this is one for you to look out for. We got scammed, so I'm going to tell you about it so you can hopefully avoid it, or at least laugh at us. Now, throughout India, anytime we've took a taxi or a rickshaw, you always agree the price before you get in. If you're not happy with the price, you don't get in it, but you can haggle. It's as simple as that. But we stepped out of the train station in Mumbai, and we were not at Chhatrapati. We were not in the station here near Colaba. We were one further out. Just happened to be just based on the tickets that were available. That's where we ended up. So be it, no problem. But we had no concept of how far outside of the main area that we were. So a bunch of taxi drivers all start approaching us. And at the moment, we were just looking for a coffee shop to get some Wi-Fi, feeling that maybe we shouldn't have come this way. I was kind of hoping this straight would go straight down. Follow it around. So all these taxi drivers were approaching us saying, sir, where you going? What hotel? What's the name of your hotel? All this stuff. And we're like, look, I haven't got anything booked yet. Just trying to find some Wi-Fi. And this taxi driver comes up to us and he says, look, sir, I recommend go and get yourself down into Colaba. It's the main area. And down there you can find a coffee shop or whatever to get you Wi-Fi. And I knew that this was the area we wanted to come, so I kind of agreed with what he said. And I said, look, how much is it? And he said, I don't know, look, I'm on a meter, so the price will be whatever the meter says. First time doing that in India, and it was different, but I didn't necessarily feel nervous about it. The guy seemed nice. So we get in the taxi and we head on our way, and he shows us the meter and he says, look, the meter starts on 28 rupees, which is nothing, it's a few pence. So we're like, okay. We head off. And we noticed kind of halfway through the journey that the meter was covered. Didn't really think too much about it, but the taxi driver started being overly nice, overly friendly, overly helpful. And at this point you start kind of getting nervous because you've seen this before, you've experienced it, and this is typically a ruse either to make you feel comfortable so they can extract money in a different way, or it's a way to basically distract you from what's coming, make you feel happy with the experience. They'll say things like, are you having a good time? You know, if you're having a good time, that's the most important thing for me, not the money. So you know what's coming. So anyway, I was expecting this journey, even with a bit of dodginess, even with a bit of an uplift in the price, to be about 1,000 rupees, and that would be in itself double the price on Uber. So we stopped in Colaba and we asked for the final price, and pulls the curtain up, a little bit of fabric on the meter, and to our surprise the cost was 2,700 rupees. So again, to put it into perspective, the real price should be about 400 rupees. 2,700 rupees he wants, and at this point we are not happy. Say to the guy, that's not the right price, you're scamming us. And he said, no sir, long journey. I'm like, I don't care that it's a long journey, that's not the real price. I said, that's not correct. And he says, no, it is the correct price. So I pull the Jedi mind trick on him and I say, look, I'm here in India working for your government. I'm here on a project for your government. I'm not. Of course I'm not. But I am here promoting India. I am here, in effect, working for the tourism board because we're promoting this country. But I told him nonetheless, look, I'm here working for your government. And at that moment, the light switches went off in his brain. The penny dropped and you could see him shaking. And he started getting nervous and he immediately started backing down. I said to him, look, I want your details. I want your taxi details, I want your registration details, because I'm going to pass them on. I said, this is not right what you're doing. And at that point he said, I'm sorry sir, I've got all the gold. Sorry sir, how much do you want to pay? I said, I want to pay the right price. And he starts giving us all the money back. Yeah. So
he was saying, like, I want to know which one is the Indian price. I want to know which one is the correct price. Yeah. And then he said,
you don't mind like paying a little bit over the odds. You know, my thing that me and Simara always say is, tell me the right price and I'll give you the foreigner price. But don't tell me the foreigner price, because I want the Indian price. Yeah. So in the end he gave us all the money back. But you've got to really, really look out for that one. I would kind of avoid getting into a meter taxi, just because, again, who sets the price of the meter? It's all very well saying it's a meter, but who decides what the price is every kilometre or every 5 minutes or whatever? Of course he does. So I would avoid that. Make sure you get a taxi where you agree the price beforehand. So what an entrance to Mumbai that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was shocking, absolutely shocking. We're not expecting that. You ever paid 2,700 for for a taxi. It was not like an hour drive.
You wouldn't
It was
pay, for how long it was, you wouldn't even pay that in England. And then we got the next shock by not being able to find a hotel. And then the third shock with when I went for a coffee, I got 3 lots of tax added on the bill. I was like, oh my God. Welcome to Mumbai. But nonetheless, aside from those things, the few hours that we've been here so far have been really interesting. Really interesting. You can see looking around, it's, you know, it's powerful for the senses, but it's not, it doesn't overdo you like a Delhi does. I think one thing for me, which I kind of intend to show with these videos, is that you've always got to be cautious when you travel, and especially in places like India, and especially in these kind of environments where there's a range of different economic situations, shall we say. But what I would say, I feel very safe in these areas. That's not to say that I would feel safe with Siamara coming out on her own, but together walking, I haven't ever felt threatened. I haven't ever felt in danger. There are some unusual characters for the perspective of women. Women do tend to get glared at a lot. Siamara definitely gets it, and it's certainly uncomfortable for her. So I would say the stereotype of a majority of Indian men sexualizing foreign women, for the most part, is true. Well, again, I'm not saying everyone is like that, but it's very frequent. A lot of staring. Siamara's had people come up to her, talking to her whilst I'm stood next to her, basically insinuating that they like her, and you know, wherever they think that conversation's going to go, I don't know. But yeah, they're very brash. But in a couple, a man and a woman walking together, and on my own as a man, I haven't felt any danger. Bit of a stink around here, isn't it? Mumbai, if you didn't know, is on the sea. It's on the Arabian coast.
a fish market or something.
Yes. And so there is fishing here. So the stench, the smell that we're experiencing right now is fish, but not fresh fish, shall we say. These are the taxis, these yellow and black ones. Another thing with the taxis, when we were trying to find this hotel that we stayed in last night, we ended up walking in the end because we asked a few different taxis and it was a straight road. You know, as you can see, we're walking just a straight road, but it was the distance, yeah, it was 2 kilometers. But even though it was a straight road, even though it was in a well-known area, we asked the taxi drivers and they just didn't have a clue. Showed them on the map, you can see it's a straight road, it's there. Didn't have a clue. So what people have to do to become a taxi driver, what level of examination or anything like that, I think is probably quite minimal. So my point on that note would be to always have Google Maps downloaded so you can at least direct yourself and direct the taxi driver if you need to. Sweaty now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feeling the humidity.
And the bag is very heavy.
Yeah. Lots of little interesting street markets coming up here. One thing Mumbai, or at least this area of Mumbai, is quite famous for. We'll try and visit Colaba Causeway Market, Bazaar, later on today, but not in this video. hopefully as we're walking down here, we'll give you a little bit of a taste. Not sure how busy it's going to be because of the time of day. It's currently just after 11 a.m. But hopefully you're getting what I say about Mumbai being very populated, but actually quite calm. Compared to Delhi and other places, this is very organised. And there's a sidewalk. Little things, eh?
Yeah, little luxuries.
Guy getting his hair cut in the street, very common in India. One thing I think many people, especially older people, might wonder when I say we're in Mumbai, they might not be able to put the finger on where that is. And it's because Mumbai was previously known as Bombay. So Bombay is, if you're a little bit older, perhaps what you will know it as, it changed the name. I think the intention of that was to try and kind of remove itself from colonial past. But Bombay was a name not actually set by the British, that was set by the Portuguese. Portuguese were here before the British. I believe the history loosely goes that the King of England married the daughter of the King of Portugal, something like that. And as part of her dowry, you know, the compensation to the man's family, the British were given rights to the ports here in Bombay, and also somewhere else, I forget where else it was, somewhere, I think it was Africa. And that's how it came to be in the hands of the British. Like your feet.
Yeah, sure. Ever seen something that's really nice.
So what I mean now that with these kind of buildings, this thoroughfare, this roadway, you kind of have to be here to experience it. But from our experience of knowing Madrid quite well, there's definitely a feeling as you're walking down here of certain roads in Madrid. The building coming up on our left is Chhatrapati, I don't know the full name, Chhatrapati Terminus basically. It's a big train station here in this area of Mumbai. And it was built in the 1800s. It's a British architect that built it. And so you see the colonial style, very Gothic, European Gothic style. So this is the building. Kind of see side. Show you more as we come up here, but very, very beautiful building. The previous name was the Victoria Terminal, or Victoria Terminus, because at the time when this was built, Queen Victoria was the monarch of the British Empire, which made her I forget her position, but basically a self-imposed position in power in India. So it's to celebrate 50 years of her monarchy, basically. Since then, of course, the name has been changed. That's been removed from the name, and there was also a statue outside of the terminal That's long since been removed, and that's disappeared into the ages. Nobody knows where that is. Probably been destroyed or sold in some private collection somewhere, maybe. Who knows? But the architecture here in Mumbai is very different from anywhere else we've been so far in India. You can look at it, like, look at the buildings here, and there's inspiration from all different kinds of architecture. There's certainly Indian architecture in there with the domes. There's Italian architecture, English architecture, a bit of a mix of everything. Interesting fact, the rail network here in Mumbai is the busiest rail network in the entire world. My understanding from reading yesterday was that it serves 2.2 billion people every year. 2.2 billion on this rail network. So it's very common for trains which are designed to carry 100 or so people to be carrying 500. Very normal. Don't think there's any such thing here as rush hour. I think it's just every hour is rush hour. So here's that. Let's have a little look here. Here's that old architecture, the European style architecture. Pretty incredible. Look at that for a ticket office. Let's have a look. Hello. Wow. It's like an old church or something. How's it looking there? See how beautiful it is? Very impressive, isn't it? Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Stained glass windows. Vaulted ceilings. It is, isn't it? It's like being in a European church. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is probably one of the nicest, if not the nicest, train stations, or at least ticket offices I've ever been into.
All through here.
Yeah, I'm regretting kind of not having cut my hair for a long time now. See, I've got these, like, all the hair's getting in my face. Literally washed it this morning, it's already feeling sweaty. So from here now we're going to get a real perspective of the architecture. A lot of work going on to preserve it. One sec. The Indian flag flying up there. Well, these are all like, what they are, gargoyles or something sticking out. I think they're actually water spouts, but really surprised. I was actually reading this morning about the cost of the build. So you see a building of such enormous scale and obviously intricate design, and you think that this would cost a fortune, especially when you know that the Taj Mahal cost $1 billion in today's money. So the money this cost in today's money was 25 million.
Wow.
I think that's actually very, very, very...
Only this building?
Yeah, this train station. I think that's amazing value.
Yeah, to be honest, the Taj Mahal is way, way smaller than this building, and it's way expensive. Yeah. It's like 4 times more expensive. Yeah. So yeah, it's incredible how the prices can change. Yeah. And the dimensions.
$25 million in today's money. That would get you, $25 million would get you a block of apartment buildings these days, very little. So for the style of architecture and the workmanship that's gone into that, I think that's a great return on investment. Women's toilets and a bus, it's unusual. I keep banging on about it, but hopefully now that we've kind of come into this wider space, you'll get a sense of what I'm talking about in this feeling of being in, yeah, Europe. The question is, we booked a hotel which is on this main road here. Wait.
And then once we cross, we go down.
Well, our hotel is over here, isn't it? Our hotel is right there. So how long have we got on the clock? We have got 14 minutes. So we can have a little look around the market over there. One thing I noticed yesterday is that in this area around the station, let's go, there's a lot of camera shops. And I am always in the market for camera stuff. Nothing in particular, just camera stuff.
Yeah, just so. Take this back off. Hurt to me.
I just can't wait to get a coffee. And the architecture of that train station is not isolated to that one building. You see it throughout this area, throughout the city. Right. So we mix that way and work our way around.
Yes.
Or we can go down this street here and look at these camera shops. Hold this a sec. I need to fix my hair. This is what happens when you don't cut your hair for 5 months or something. I'm like forever in turmoil about whether to have it long or whether to shave it all off. You can never be happy anywhere in the middle.
That's the dilemma of when should I.
First world problems, isn't it? Right. Hello.
Would you like to purchase the cameras?
You have
Selfie stick?
yeah.
Yeah, come. I will show you. Just
Let's
come.
have a look. I am in the market for that. Hesitation here. Your shop is not over there?
No, that is my shop.
Oh, okay.
Opposite side.
Okay.
Is it good?
See Mara's walking behind, confused.
Which country, man?
So who, UK.
Okay.
Whose shop is that one then?
No, that is empty, only for demonstration.
Ah,
That
okay.
is my shop.
That's like your advertisement.
Yeah.
Very clever. Lots of camera shops in this area.
Yes, of course. That is my shop and that is also my shop.
Oh wow.
Let's go.
Very nice.
Yes, selfie stick. Then.
Everything in here, eh?
That is second one, also new also possible. Selfie stick.
Okay. Thank you. Let's have a look, see what he's got. All kinds of camera shops in this area. So basically he's saying that that little storefront was just an advertisement.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
What do you want, sir?
You have like selfie sticks, tripods, those kind of things?
Yeah. Selfie stick. GoPro.
Yeah. That's a floaty one, isn't it? You have one with a tripod? It has like a tripod that comes out the bottom. Oh, these Ulanzi ones, yeah. Okay. Something like that. Do you have
GoPro special.
This is for GoPro?
Yeah.
But you have the... Do you have the adapter? Because that doesn't screw into the bottom.
Yeah.
You do?
Adapter.
Yes, Russians?
Sorry?
Russians?
Russians.
Then where are you from?
He's from England and I born in Colombia.
How much is this?
Spain.
How much is this?
This 1200, sir.
1200. Okay. England.
England.
Yeah, United Kingdom.
Melbourne. England. Looks like
Australia. Melbourne.
You have family in Australia, you say?
Australia.
Yeah. We lived in Australia. That's where we met each other in Australia. This one as well. Okay. You have the what one? Yeah. I have this one and I already left that one back in England, didn't I? Because it was too big.
This one 600.
That one is 600, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, but I want one with a tripod so I
This
can...
GoPro original 3005.
Yeah.
Ulanzi brand.
You have Manfrotto?
Manfrotto, no.
No, you don't have it. Okay. Alright, I'm going to finish my video. I'm going to keep going. But then I'll come back in a minute. Okay?
Okay, no worries.
I see Mara's got to put her bag back on.
I was dying without my...
You only come back with it. You buy this now. Pass it to the
Could do with getting a proper tripod as well. Not sure where I'm going to put that though. Need to get something like this for my other camera. Okay.
Don't need the tripod right now?
Huh?
Don't need the tripod?
In a minute, but I'm making my video, so I'll come back once I finish my video. Okay? Thank you. Back into heat. No air conditioning here. Yeah, it was. It was nice and cool, wasn't it?
You see the next one.
Okay, thank you. Right. Let's have a little walk down there.
How many minutes do we have left?
We have got 7 minutes.
Go around here. That's much here, we need it.
Yeah. The price in there for the little tripod seemed fair.
Yes, sir.
Hello. I'm just walking, thanks. It seemed fair, but there are a lot of camera shops in this area, a lot. So, worth always just having a little look around. Very tempting as well when I see all the other mirrorless cameras. So before using the GoPro and before this one, I had a Canon EOS R6 and it was a monster of a camera. Monster in terms of its ability and monster in terms of its weight and size. That's why I left that one back in England and again went for something like this. So I keep seeing these big cameras and getting very tempted, but the reality is I know that they are not comfortable to travel with. Great thing with this camera, I have it on and I don't even feel it. See, Mara could always carry it though. That over there, City Hotel, is going to be our next lodging for the night. Price of that one is £22 for the night. I got a little discount on Agoda, so I think we've ended up paying £18. But it kind of gives you a clue that to come to Mumbai, you're going to be paying around double what you'd pay anywhere else.
You realize that, you know, McDonald's is a luxury when you are in this kind of country.
Yeah. Mumbai is India's richest city. There's a variety of economic groups here, and as with India, a country of contrasts, you feel it certainly here, probably more than anywhere, because you've got mega rich here. Most of India's billionaires live here in Mumbai. I think Mumbai has the 6th most amount of billionaires anywhere in the world. I think I'm right on that one. But you've also got a population where 50% or more live in slums. So it's a weird city in that sense. You see people walking around with their Apple watches, and then you see people on the street begging. So it's, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna start heading, maybe we're gonna start.
Yeah, let's go across. You got to take the zebra crossing with a pinch of salt when you're in India. Typically, you just gotta go. Follow the people. Usually it's the best option, but sometimes it gets you a bit stuck. And bus drivers having none of it. How to know you've spent a long time in this part of the world?
You are able to cross the road without.
Pretty much cross the road without looking now, to be honest.
You just have to follow the locals. They know what they're doing. Maybe you can die when you are trying it, but
Yeah, you say follow the locals, they know what they're doing, but India has the highest death rate on the roads in the world, so probably don't always follow the locals. Maybe that might walk you into some danger sometimes, but as a loose rule, it's kind of right, isn't it? No, we haven't, surprisingly. And we may, in fact, take a bus out of Mumbai to Goa. It depends on how things fall with the trains, but we're going to have a little look today. But potentially we're going to take an overnight sleeper bus. It's because something different, and the price is more competitive. See more camera shops, or what was a camera shop. Is this the hotel here? This is it here, isn't it? This is the one? City Hotel. We're a little bit early. Hopefully we can check in. If not, we'll go and find a little coffee. But on that note, we're basically at 45 minutes. Shall we leave it here?
yes, let's leave it here.
Hope you enjoyed.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope that you felt like you were here in Mumbai, and then see you in the next one.
Wish you were here.